Alright, and welcome back for another Battle for Zendikar draft. Yeah, a bit of a go at a Swiss queue here. Now, we've opened some interesting cards. Rolling Thunder is the first one that's, to me, probably the most powerful card in the pack. Our rare is this Brood Butcher. Gold, 3/3 for 5, comes with 2 friends. Comes with 1 friend. And you can sack it to do some damage. I don't mind that card, but I don't like to go gold early, so I'm going to stick with Rolling Thunder on this case. Other cards of note, you've got Touch the Void here, Benthic Infiltrator, both very good cards, and worth a first pick on a lot of occasions. Let's keep Rolling Thunder. I have been told that I draft a bit too slowly, so I'm going to try and pick it up a little bit for you guys today. Make sure I get through. Let me know how I'm doing. Now, a couple of cards here. The person next to us has taken a common. I'm going to guess was something like Complete Disregard. Serpentine Spike is fine. 7 mana is a lot, and it's 2 for 1 usually. Bane of Bala Ged, also a really powerful card, and another Touch of Void. I'm a little bit torn between something like Bane of Bala Ged and Touch of the Void. Touch is just a seriously powerful card, and you can just kill people before these cards become relevant up here with the Bane. That said, I think I'm going to go with the power, Bane of Bala Ged. If you get to untap, it is a straight 2 for 1, regardless of how they block. So I think that's worth the pick. Coming back around, so this pack, nothing huge coming out up front. I like a retreat. Generally speaking, I don't mind a Sure Strike. Nothing else here is particularly interesting, so I think I'll just take the retreat. It's just good value. Not sure where we're going to be going at this point. We're just taking some powerful cards, trying to build up and see what we get in the end. Turn my phone across to silent so we don't keep getting that ping sound. There we go. Alright, so the downside of picking quicker is that we have to wait for our other opponents to catch us up. As I said, I've been told that I pick too slowly, so I'm going a little bit faster than I might normally. This pack, again, nothing jumping up at me straight away. Culling Drone is a fine 2-drop. Coiling Oracle's not a bad removal spell. Silent Skimmer, generally fine card. As far as our colours, you've got Void Attendant. Not the most interesting piece of hardware you can get. Natural Connections, again, is fine if you want to fix that sort of thing. And Incubator Drone is decent as well. I think we try and stay open. I'm not really committed to any colour at this point, so I'm going to again try and take the stronger card. And that's one of these blue cards, I would say, either Incubator Drone or Tightening Coils. Tough call. I'm going to go with the Incubator Drone. And see how we go. Breaker of Armies is an excellent card. Although we already have one large sort of threatening Eldrazi, and going for multiples is not really the best idea. I like Encircling Fissure a lot. I've seen it blow out people on several occasions. And then the rest of these are just sort of mediocre cards. I like an Orrery Fiber, Demon's Grasp is mediocre removal, and the lands are all just fine. I think we just take the best card, which is Breaker of Armies. But with our top end full, we're going to want to make sure we get those lower order enablers. Things like Incubator Drone are good for this, and the blue. If we do end up blue-green, it's a great way to get these big Eldrazi going. So at this point, we'll lean on Breaker of Armies. Oh, Prism Array. That's just not getting anywhere near our deck. Outside of that, Outnumber is a good one. The green-red could be the sort of thing we do here. Lifespring Druid and Outnumber are the 2 ones I'm sort of looking at. Particularly if you build up this Eldrazi deck, you can get a lot of spawn and Outnumber goes up in value. So even if it's just a splashing, something like Outnumber can be worthwhile. I don't mind Blighted Gorge, just a late game card. And as you can see, Lifespring Druid is a bit of ramp for our giant things. I think I'm going to take the Outnumber, because I wouldn't mind ending up in red with Rolling Thunder. So not real sure where we're going at this point. And this pack doesn't look like it's going to give us a great idea of it. We can take a decent 2-drop, either the McKinley Slide Runner or the Oran Reef Invoker. We can start looking at green-red as a solid 4-drop in Grove Rumbler. Coming in as a 5/5 trample is nothing to smirk at. And we do have both green and red going on down here. I'm not really married to the retreat, but if we start going green, I can see that being an option. I think we pick it up and just see where we end up. Another Incubator Drone. That's fairly late, I would say, for an Incubator Drone. And a Blighted Woodland I quite like as well for the ramp. We haven't seen much else in blue, so I'm going to take the Woodland. And these Incubator Drones keep coming around. It's possible we should move in on blue here. Green-blue can be good, particularly when we've got these ramp targets. So let's grab a drone. Not too sure where to go here. It's either McKinney Slide Runner or Swell of Growth. I'm not real into green at the moment, so I think McKinney Slide Runner is the safer pick. Coming back around, Fertile Thicket's not bad if we end up in the green deck, or Anticipate. I don't love Anticipate, that's fine. Better off putting good cards in the deck. Natural Connections is good fixing, so we'll take that. Good for this ramp plan that we've got. We'll put a Dispel in the sideboard for now. Royal Mage's Trick in the sideboard. Not real keen on Royal Mage's Trick, to be honest, and that's why it's last pick. And last card. Alright, so at the moment, for blue, we really only have these 2 Incubator Drones. So that's not a huge incentive to go continue down the blue path. We have some decent red and green cards. Rolling Thunder's a big one, Grove Rumbler is good, and then the Natural Connections to help us get up to these big things. The main interest we have in blue is picking up more things like Incubator Drone, things like Eldrazi Sky Spawner, which will help ramp into Bane of Bala Ged and Breaker of Armies. Okay, so Emeria Shepherd's our rare. Very good rare, but not really within our range at the moment. I don't mind Cryptic Cruiser in the Devoid Ingest deck, but it's not the deck that we've got in front of us at this point. Kozilek's Channeler is the most likely pick. It's a strong 5-drop, and it ramps us into our 7/8s, and even a big Rolling Thunder. So while I'm going to be scared of Emeria Shepherd later, I'm not going to be playing it in this deck. Outside of that, Valakut Predator, Vestige of Emrakul, the cards I'd be interested in. That's about all we need to know. Passing Clutch of Currents for a common. So our person across from us has taken a common over Clutch of Currents and Complete Disregard. I quite like Clutch, and I think in this deck we can be splashing blue. I'm seeing a... what is this? Naiad. No, Naiad's white. Anyway, whatever this colour combination is. Team deck sort of forming. Outnumber is good. Don't really know if I want a second Outnumber at this point. And nothing else is jumping out. I wouldn't mind Involving Wilds to help with the fixing. I'm going to take Clutch. Still not big on green, so I could very easily swap green for blue if we see more things like that. Things like Eldrazi Sky Spawner. Really nice pickup. Helps you get into these big cards. Blue-red is a very nice deck. Blue-red colourless. Nettle Drone goes right into that deck as well, but I don't think we can pass Sky Spawner if we want to move on blue. Here, Rot Shamble is an interesting card. Don't mind that one. But I think Evolving Wilds, just trying to get a bit safer. We may be splashing blue, we may be playing it more heavily. We may be splashing green, I'm not really sure. So take some fixing and we can work from there. Could take a Spell Shrivel. Keep on that blue plan, it's just a nice controlling sort of card. Don't mind Skyline Cascade, it's not amazing. And either of these green 4-drops are fine, but not particularly interesting. Eyeless Watcher coming with those Eldrazi is kind of useful. But I'm seeing us moving towards this blue deck here. And being rewarded with a very late Wind Rider Patrol. That suggests that the 5 people to my left are not in blue, because if you're in blue, you take this card. Not a lot else in the pack. Snapping Gnarl is fine, but Patrol. So we're in these 3 colours. Somewhere in this Teamer collection is going to be our deck. Whether it's blue-red, blue-green, something like that. But blue seems pretty open from our left side. Here we haven't got a great deal. Thinking possibly blue-green. Take that one. I like Blighted Fen as a card, but I haven't got a single black card as yet. So we'll stick to our guns. It's either Eyeless Watcher or Swell of Growth. We do have quite a few 4-drops. I'll take the Eyeless Watcher. Already got 2 Incubator Drones, so I'm probably not going to take a third. I like the 2-drop here, Coral Helm Guide. That can be really useful late in the game with these giant Eldrazi, just smashing through. Nothing else super interesting. So the red is starting to be eclipsed here a bit. We've pushed into blue pretty effectively. Depending on how much fixing, I could still run the Rolling Thunder. I'm going to take a Blister Pot here. Just keep us alive long enough to get to our larger things. Seem to be moving towards this blue-green ramp sort of deck. Again, Anticipate's a fine card, but I would rather just run good things rather than ways to find them. So, take a Blister Pot. Log's Nullify is a very annoying card. So I'm thinking I just cut that here. I'm not going to be hurting for large things, so I just don't want to play around a Nullifier. Take that out. Coral Helm Guide again, good 2-drop is good. Hedron Blade or Earthen Arms is an actual pick. I've seen Earthen Arms do horrible things, but I'm going to take the Hedron Blade. I think it's more likely to make my deck. And I'm going to move the red to the side for now. Not sure how likely we are to play red. Most likely is Rolling Thunder, but that really relies on us getting enough fixing. At the moment we've got a Natural Connections and an Evolving Wilds. And that's really not enough to go in for a double red spell. Deck's coming together pretty well so far. We've got some nice ramp cards. We will take Reclaiming Vines for the sideboard. Don't mind Brood Hunter Worm, but don't need a random 4-drop in this deck. Got 3 4-drops already, and none of them are getting displaced by a Brood Hunter Worm. Earthen Arms, I don't foresee playing it, but you never know. Got an island and a forest, so that's nice, yeah, colours. Okay, Well, From Beyond is an outstanding card, particularly in a deck that has 2 Giant Eldrazi it wants to search, so that is definitely our pick. We'll have a quick look through the pack, see what else is going on. Wouldn't mind Plummet coming back, wouldn't mind Retreat coming back. These retreats are pretty powerful, even though they don't affect the board straight up. Grip of Desolation is a scary card to be passing. Black deck is going to be happy with that. But From Beyond, easy pick. It just goes so perfectly in the deck we're trying to put together. I'm a little bit light on creatures, a few less than I would like. Looking for something like Oran Reef Invoker would be nice in the 2-drop slot. Another Eldrazi Sky Spawner obviously would be awesome. Just waiting on that person to the right. Now, Turn Against is worth splashing for, so that's the first thing that I sort of lean towards. Resolute Blade Master is a nice card, but not one we're going to be taking at this point. Wouldn't mind another Spell Shrivel or a Coral Helm Guide or a Snapping Gnarlid, but I think the power of a Turn Against, given that we can splash a single red fairly easily, is going to win the day here. So deck coming together pretty nicely here. I don't think I need a second Turn Against. Again, Spell Shrivel and Snapping Gnarlid are nice, but I think a Hedge-Run Archive is where we want to go. Going to be a little bit concerned about those fast aggro decks. Wouldn't mind picking up something a bit wallish, something to drop into this section, but Hedge-Run Archive, good card. Cinderglade helps our fixing, and we don't give up much by taking it. We can search it out with Natural Connection. No, we can't search for Natural Connections, but it does help with our fix. It means I run 1 fewer mountain. Outside of that, I've already got a retreat, so not super interested. Skyline Cascade, just another land. Broodhunter Worm, boring 4-drop. Eyeless Watcher is a fine 4-drop. A couple of things could come back, but Cinderglade fix me. Don't love this pack much. Giant Mantis, I think, is the 4-drop I want here. Just going to hold the ground really well. So if we do come up against an aggro deck, that's going to be hard to get out of the way. Nothing else is super exciting here. A couple of decent red cards. We'll take a Mantis. More 4-drops. Is more 4-drops what we really want to see? I don't think we need to go in for a Cloud Manta. Flying is nice. It's not the way I want to go here. Unnatural Aggression is fine removal, and I could consider also running a Scour from Existence because I am ramping up as much as I am. Just being able to kill something is important. More reliable than Unnatural Aggression, particularly in a deck with only 12 creatures. I'm not going to fight that well. So I possibly just take Scour here and run it there. Not super impressed with the pack I have here. Broodhunter Worm as a 4-drop, but I am really stacked up in that 4-drop slot. The only other option is Territorial Baloth, and that's 5, which, again, we don't really need big guys at this point. But not a lot to take, so Broodhunter Worm get in. Possibly Mist Intruder. Possibly Swell of Growth. It's one of those two. We're going to have lands that we want to put into play. I think I like just having a creature that can do some attacking and blocking. So, take a Mist Intruder. Retreat to Coral Helm, came back around. Cut the Hedron Blade at this point. And I think that's the pick. Just giving some value back. Seek the Wilds. Could be just something to do with that mana early as well. Let's retreat or seek. Let's take the retreat. Coral Harm Guy, just another good blocker. It's better than Mist Intruder as a way to just hold the ground early on. And Seek the Wild's helping us find stuff, but I think I just want to defend myself early with the Krylham Guide. Mist Intruder. We're not getting in for Ingest, so I don't see Mist Intruder as particularly necessary. Brood Hunter Worm can come out. It's definitely an 18 land deck, so this is probably our 22 at this point. A second Fertile Thicket, Foil Forest. Let's just take the pretty land. To be honest, Foil Thicket, don't need two of them, and it's pretty. Don't mind an Eyeless Watcher. Don't know if it takes over from any of our current 4-drops. I don't think it replaces anything in the deck, but we'll take it in case. Crumble to Dust could be annoying. Territorial Baloth over there, and Island in there. Right. Okay, so the deck came together reasonably well. I'm not too worried. I think we've managed to pull something together. Have a bit of a look at what we've got here. We're at 23 and I do want to run 18 lands, so I'm going to have to find a cut along here somewhere. Spell Shrivel isn't my favourite. I like the retreats, they're just going to reward us for things like natural connections, and we've got a Blighted Woodlands up here, Evolving Wilds. A few different ways to just get lands in play, so I quite like our retreats in that way. Two of them might be pushing it, but I think we'll be alright. I'm happy with basically everything here. So the question becomes, is there a creature I can cut? You know, Scour Existence is just so expensive. I think I'm going to cut it and bring it in if there's a threat I really need to take care of that I haven't got another answer for. At the moment, this deck doesn't have a lot it can't deal with. Emeria Shepherd's going to be annoying, but I do have flying blockers, and I do have Giant Eldrazi that come down around there that are going to cause problems for him. So, I think that's our 22. Got enough going on here that I think we can win some games. We'll bring in our lands. Now we're going to want to run at least one proper mountain. We'll see what Magic Online does. We'll combine our groups, sort by colour. And so we've just got the one red, which I think is fine, because we can use Cinderglade, Evolving Wilds, Mountain, Natural Connections, can all go and get the red source when we need it. So for islands, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 islands. 2, 3, 8 forest or green sources. So possibly even heavy on green. I feel like we should probably have another blue source in there. We do have a lot of blue spells and they're all up and down the curve. So I'm going to cut a forest, add in an island. Eight islands, 6, 7 forests / green sources, plus Evolving Wilds, which is both. Pretty happy, yep. So we're going to submit that one in. Having a look across our sideboard, we've got a dispel if we find there's a lot of instants that need to be countered. Don't see bring that in terribly often. Reclaiming Vines, if we see some good artifacts, enchantments, etc. Also not bad against a heavy Awaken deck, so we find a blue-white Awaken deck, that might even come in there. Who knows, we'll see. Scarifing Resistance, as I said, is really only there if we get in a lot of trouble. And I need to just absolutely kill it dead. One last look at our curve, and it's just 4 drops up the middle. Try to survive long enough to get to them, and then ramp into the giant things. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in round 1.